Good morning, everybody. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the upcoming transfers to these 64-bit servers and what you're going to have to do. Because as of Tuesday, July 15th, you will be transferring to the new 64-bit servers. So there's going to be a quick guide that's going to go over pretty much everything in this post. If you don't want to listen to me talk, just go over the description of this video. The post will be there. You can just read it, and then you don't have to worry about any of that. This is basically me just reading it out for people or giving a little bit of added context. Additionally, we're going to be time stamping the thing, so you can just skip to the part that you want. So what is the big piece of information? There are 3 new servers opening up in Dungeons & Dragons Online on Tuesday, July 15th, 2025, which as of the launch of this video is tomorrow. Those 3 servers are Shadowdale, Thrain, and Moonsea. Shadowdale and Thrain are in Las Vegas, whereas Moonsea is in Europe. I think it's in Denmark. Now, the reason why this is impactful is because if you're a European player, you can get much better ping in Europe, whereas if you're a US player, especially for somebody who's on the West Coast, you're going to get much better ping going to the Vegas servers. Or if you happen to be oceanic, so either from like Japan, Australia, Hawaii, you're going to be able to get much easier access to the new Las Vegas servers. And these are the 64-bit servers that are opening up. Basically, if you haven't heard anything about it, the 64-bit servers are really low lag, especially in comparison to the old servers. They're really nice. They already have the server Cormier, which has existed as kind of like a test ground for all of this, and it works super duper well. So you're going to be able to transfer your characters. All of the transfers are totally free, so you won't have to pay for this. It's just you get to transfer. However, you also have to transfer because as of August 31st, 2025, the game servers, the 32-bit game worlds, well, you're not going to be able to transfer anymore because they're closing. So transfer your stuff before August 31st, 2025. If you don't do that, they will have another window to transfer in the future. So if you're watching this video and you're like, oh my God, my computer is destroyed, I'm going to lose all my characters in my account. You're not going to lose everything. It's just if you don't transfer by August 31st, the servers are going to go dark, the old ones, and you won't be able to access them for a little while. However, you won't be able to play on them ever again. You'll be able to transfer your characters and your stuff in the future, but you won't be able to play on those servers. They're retiring the old servers. For those of you who still don't entirely understand, Cormier is generally lag-free, and I don't want to use that term lightly. It is magic. It is a completely different video game, so the new 64-bit servers are going to be very good for basically everybody. Now, usually with transfers and character transfers, you've only been able to transfer your character, literally. But now you're going to be able to transfer everything, because they actually want people to move everything over. This is your guild that's going to transfer. This is your shared account storage. This is your mounts. This is everything. So we're going to go through the process of how to do it. Prepare, pack, transfer, unpack. It's actually very straightforward. The basics behind this is you're going to log into a character, right, on your world. So let's say you're like me. I play on Arganesson. My character and all of my stuff is going to Thrain. That's where I'm going to be going. So since I'm going to Thrain, I'm going to log into one of my characters, and I'm going to use the transfer pack command. So what this is going to do is it's going to take all of my account-wide items and pack it up with my character ready for transfer. So I'm going to pack everything there. So it's going to take my shared storage, it's going to take my crafting storage, my platinum storage, it's going to take your mounts, it's going to take your cosmetic pets, all the things that are based on account and in a single server basis is going to be moving with you. You don't have to empty out your shared storage, you don't have to empty out anything like that, anything that's account based. However, there are several things that are not going to be transferring with you, which is actually at the bottom. So this is specifically, where is it? Should have had this prepped sooner. The things that don't transfer, your monster manual progress will not transfer. So if you unlocked the fire elemental pet from killing fire elementals, claim it now, and then that will transfer with you because it will be in your pet stable without having to transfer the monster manual progress. So go claim all your astral shards so you can take all your astral shards with you. Your mail will not transfer. So if you have a mailbox full of items, you've been using the mail as a second bank by posting stuff on the auction house and then letting it expire so it goes in your mailbox to have more space, you have to empty out your mailbox. All of those items are not transferring. If you have items in your mailbox, they're just not coming with you. So if you just want to say sayonara, don't worry about it. Just leave all the mail. And I'm going to be honest, if you can post it on the auction house, it's probably worth nothing anyway in the long scheme of things. Don't worry about it. Anything on the auction house is also not going to transfer with you. So before you finish, you're getting your transfer ready, cancel all your auctions, get all your items back. Additionally, your guild rank is not going to transfer with you. So if you're an officer, when you transfer, you'll go back to being a member because you're basically going to be rejoining your guild. So don't worry about that. If your guild leader is the person that they're supposed to be leading your guild, they're going to take care of all of that. So make sure you talk to your guild leader about just the general process to how they're going to be doing the transfer. Your daily dice rolls are the stuff you get is good, but if you use your daily dice roll and then you transfer, you're not going to get a new one. Your guild airship chests, because it's the same character, your guild airships, the chests are not going to transfer. The airship themselves will transfer. Your guild leader, when they pack up, is going to take the whole guild with them, and that's all going to transfer. So that's great, but the chests on the ship are not going to transfer. So make sure you have somebody go into the ship and empty out all the chests. I had to do that, and it was really, really tedious, but I did get to learn that we have like 200 items that have double augment slots in the guild chest, which was very interesting. Your friends list and your ignored list are not going to transfer either, so make sure you get out a pen and paper and write them down, or try to export them. That stuff is not transferring with you. And lastly, your shared bank custom tabs. So when you have the shared bank, you can break it down into tabs. The tabs are just going to disappear. You're going to have to remake those tabs in the future when you get to your new server. But everything else is going to be transferring with you, which is very cool. So how is the process? As I said, you log into a character. Once you decided, okay, we're good to go, my mail is clear, my auctions are clear, I claimed everything from my monster manual, you hit /transfer pack. Okay, so you hit /transfer pack, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's going to take your shared account stuff, it's going to take your little companion stable, and it's going to dump it all into that one character, right? So you can all of a sudden transfer that. So you transfer pack, and we're good. Once you've done that process, you're going to notice that your character is packed on the selection screen. When your character is packed, that means it's ready to go for transfer. So you're going to log into your characters, you're going to pack them up, using the transfer pack function once you feel like you're ready to go, and you're going to get all your characters packed. And then once the day happens, you'll be able to do the transfer by, on the launch screen here, you can click the transfer button, which will bring up the transfer wizard, and then you're going to transfer your character. So it's very similar to just transferring characters regularly. If you've played hardcore, you know the experience of finishing a hardcore season and transferring all your characters to new servers. It's going to be just like that. The one difference is you have to make sure you pack your characters. So you log in, transfer pack, and you do that. Now, if you want to go to multiple servers, so let's say you want to bring different things to different servers, what you're going to want to do is transfer the packs separately. This is only going to apply to people who want to transfer some things to Moonsea and some things to Thrain and, some things to Shadowdale. They just want to have a little bit everywhere. Basically, you're going to want to take things out of your shared account storage that you want to keep on one server. So let's say you want to have all your augments go to another server. You want to take all your augments out of your shared storage so they're in the character's inventory, and then you use transfer pack on one character. It packs up everything for one server, and then you can go ahead and put all your augments back in, transfer pack, and bring all the augments to your other server. So if you're planning on doing multiple servers or you want to split up your items, then make sure you're doing that. But honestly, I think most people are just going to be transferring to one, which is very easy. Once you're all set, transfer pack, and you're good to go. Then when you get to your new server, so after you've transferred, you're going to go unpack. So you're going to go /transfer unpack. Once you log in, it's going to unpack all your stuff. So all of a sudden it'll be like, oh, your astral shards, boop, now they're going to populate all your mounts, everything else. If you're not sure about what your characters even have packed up, even before the transfer, you can use the /transfer list and see what you actually have packed. Oh, my platinum storage, my astral shards. Maybe you're the leader of a guild. These are your cosmetic pets and mounts. It'll actually show you all of the things that are there. So if you're worried about what is or isn't there, you'll be able to actually read it before you transfer. And when you unpack, it will also give you the same printout of everything that you transferred in. So as you, the regular DDO player and consumer, all you do, as I said before, log into the game, clear out your mailbox, clear out your auction house, clear out your monster manual, and then transfer pack on your characters. And then once you're done /transfer pack, all your characters should say packed on them. You're going to then use the transfer window to transfer your characters. One thing that's important about this, the transfer window here, they recommend that you don't transfer all of your characters right away. The reason for that is because the system can only handle so many people transferring. Doing this in Lord of the Rings Online, which they did like earlier this year, it was a bit of a nightmare, and you couldn't really play the game for 10 days because everybody transferred everything at the same time. Here is my recommendation to you, the consumer. If you're going to be transferring to a new server, use the transfer tool after you pack stuff to transfer your main and maybe another character that you think you might need onto your new server. So if you're like me, I'm going to Thrain, I'll probably take Strimtom, seems kind of good of a character, and maybe like one of my endgame characters that I want to play with. Characters that I'm not going to transfer initially are like my Ravenloft bank alt that holds Ravenloft gear. As wild as it sounds, I'm not going to need Ravenloft gear the second I transfer to the server. So I'm not going to clog it up, and I'm just going to transfer that character in like a week or two and kind of move it along later. But that's kind of their recommendation. Additionally, even though they're like, oh, character transfer slow, do it a little bit at a time, people are going to in fact be transferring their characters all at once. People are going to be transferring 20 characters, 30, 40 characters at the same time. This system is going to get gummed up, and just like it did with the Lord of the Rings, expect your characters to possibly not be fully playable for like 1 week, 2 weeks at the most. I know that sounds really bad, like 2 weeks of not being able to play your character, kind of sucks. But listen, it's just a piece of the process once we get to the other side and you get to play with no lag and with much higher populated servers. Because remember all those people that wanted server merges over and over and over and over and over? Guess what? You have your dream. We are merging all of the DDO servers into 3. So kind of nice. We're getting the server merge, which is what people have wanted for a long time. It's not one server, but it's not bad. And you're getting lag reduction, which is pretty nice. So keep that in mind. The process is going to be slow. So maybe if there's a game you've been thinking about playing a lot, that might be a good time to get your character transfer started and then play another video game for a couple days while the transfers are doing their thing. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is guilds and guild leaders. This one's really important. When your guild leader packs their character on their guild leader character, so if you're the leader of a guild and you have, let's say my character Strimtom is leader of the, Strimtom's Acid Arrow guild. When I pack Strimtom, because I'm the leader, it's going to take all the guild information. That includes the guild roster, so who is in the guild. It's going to take the guild airship in it as well as the guild renown and level. Okay? So, the reason why this is important is because all of that stuff is going with your guild leader. So when your guild leader packs the character and transfers, if you log in to pack up your character to get stuff ready, you might notice, oh my gosh, I don't have a guild. You hit the guild panel and you notice that it says nothing. It just says create. That's because your guild has moved to the new server. So what you need to do is not make a guild. Do not make a guild. If you make a guild, then the game won't be able to reconcile that you're supposed to be in one. So if you're in a guild right now and you know your guild is going to Moonsea and you're going to Moonsea, don't make a new guild. Just pack up your character and go to Moonsea. If you go before your guild leader, when your guild leader transfers to Moonsea and unpacks, your guild is going to get made and you will be automatically re-added to the guild. So if you transfer first, you'll have no guild on Moonsea, but then once your guild leader transfers, you'll be back in the guild. If your guild leader transfers before you do, then on your old server, if you're playing on Orion, you will not have a guild. But when you transfer to your new server Moonsea, you will be re-added to the guild once you log in because that information is there. I cannot stress this enough. If you notice you don't have a guild and you click the Create Guild button, it's going to make it so you don't load into your guild, which is usually fine because at the end of the day, you send a message to your guild leader or one of the officers and you say, hey, I accidentally clicked the button, can I get a re-add to the guild? And then they add you back in the guild. Or it's your guild's opportunity to be like, man, we really hated that guy, so I guess we're not going to re-add him, and they get rid of you. So either way, just don't get tempted to click the create guild function when you don't need to, okay? If you're in a guild and you know you're transferring with your guild, just transfer, make sure you pack up your stuff, everything's going to be perfectly fine, okay? Perfectly fine. Now, a couple other pieces of information about the transfers that you should know about. Names. Names are really, really important. So I don't know if they have the thing here, the names. What do you do if somebody has your character name? When you transfer to the server, you have a generic enough name, somebody else is probably going to have the same name as you. So here's my recommendation as a content creator, and somebody has to deal with this all the time. When the servers go live, don't log into Arganessen and get packing. Log into your new server. So let's say you want to go to Moonsea. Log into Moonsea and make characters that have your character names. Okay? So that way you get to reserve the name. So then what you can do is, as long as you have the names, let's say you want to be named Joe, you can go on Moonsea and make Joe the level 1 fighter. Perfect. Joe the level 1 fighter exists. And now, when you transfer Joe from your old server to Moonsea, you're now going to have your character Joe-1, which might sound like that's not what you want. But when you transfer and you get a -1 or a -2, you get a free name change. So what you can do is you can transfer Joe-1, transfer Joe, it becomes Joe-1, and then you can delete the character Joe, log into your character, and type /change name Joe. Boom, it's fixed, and you have your name that you want. Keep that in mind. You can create placeholder names in your destination world so that way you can guarantee you get it, because even if you get the -1, you still have the original, so you can delete the original and get your name. Pro tip for all of this, let's say you're like me and you started playing DDO when you were 14 and it's been like 20 years now, and maybe there's a couple characters you wish you named slightly differently. Well, you can fix it without having to pay for a name change. Just take the character whose name you don't like anymore, make a new character on the server that has that same name, transfer the character and get it with a -1, and then change it to whatever you want. I fixed all my Lord of the Rings characters that I named when I was like, a kid. Why did I name my Guardian Iron Train? I don't know, it sounded cool at the time, but I don't like it anymore, so I got a free name change. So you can do that again here as well. The same thing will happen with your guild, so you will automatically get a guild rename. You can do the same thing. So if your guild is named the Sword of Shadow, and you think other people will also have a guild named the Sword of Shadow, then what you can do is go onto the new server, make a guild called the Sword of Shadow, your guild leader transfers over, your old guild becomes the Sword of Shadow -1, delete the guild the Sword of Shadow, rename, blah, blah, blah. Same process, very straightforward. It's a way for you to preserve your names. Now, another thing that's in here is the character slots and the shared storage. Because we're packing up a bunch of stuff and maybe you're taking things out of your mailbox, you're taking things out of the auction house, you might have a lot of extra things you want to store. And SSG knows this, which is why right now there's a coupon available called 100 slots. It adds 100 slots to your shared bank in the game. This is the biggest coupon they have ever done in the history of the game. Actually, no, I think the free quest coupon is there. But this is like a good quality life coupon. 100 slots is like, I think each 10 slots is like, what, 40 or 5,000 or 500 points, 600 points, something like that. So this is basically like a 5,000 or 6,000 point code right here. 100 slots. You get 100 free shared account storage slots. Please make good use of it. Log in, get your 100 slots, get your shared bank storage. Additionally, on July 15th, you're going to get 10 new character slots. Some of you out there may have 20 characters on Orion, and you might have 30 characters on Arganessen, and you have 40 characters on Kenneth, and you want all of them, every single character from all those servers. You're going to pack them all up, and you're going to send all of them to Moonsea. Well, you might not have 80 or 70 or however many character slots, But with an extra 10, it gets at least a little bit closer. So you'll be able to have slightly more characters to kind of preserve some of them. If you have 80 characters, delete some. You know, that's just me. That's my always thing. Just delete it if you're not sure. But just be aware, the character slots are free. You don't have to do anything. You're just going to log in and you're going to have them. Okay? But the 100 slots to get the shared bank storage is something you have to input yourself with your fingers. You go to the DDO store. There's a coupon code section on the bottom left. You type 100 slots. It is case sensitive. And boom, you get your 100 bank slots. The other thing that is here is also the, not this, where's the monster manual. So the monster manual is something that some people are also not sure about. The monster manual is not transferring. So if you had your 80,000 kills on dragons, and now you can see dragon hit points, unfortunately, the monster manual progress is not transferring over. However, that's okay. For two reasons. One, in the future, they're going to be refactoring the whole monster manual. So they're going to be changing how it works and what it does. However, they're not doing that right now. So you're going to be able to just remove the hit points, or not remove, to be able to see the hit points of enemies all the time. All the time. So if you're a brand new player, you can now just see how much health all the monsters have. And if you're an existing player, you'll be able to see how much health monsters have of weird types that we just could never see before because they were like some weird in-between type or something that never made it into the monster manual. Obviously, this is not ideal for every player. And if you're somebody who, let's say you're doing like, you're trying to get one of the pets and you're like 10 kills away as of when this patch goes live, you can still play on the 32-bit game worlds all the way through August 31st. So either go finish out and grind out your monster manual and then transfer, or just transfer and don't worry about it. Those are kind of your two options there. And then lastly, we want to talk about favor. So there's kind of a weird quirk here. If you own something through favor and then you transfer to another server that doesn't have that favor, you actually don't own that thing anymore. So what I mean by that is you get access to the Warforged by earning 400 favor points in total, which is cool, but that's only on the server that you earned it. So if you have a Warforged, you did not buy it with DDO points, so you don't own it on your account, you just earned it on the server, and you transfer that Warforged to another server, let's say your main character is a Warforged, you transfer it to Moonsea, you don't own Warforged on Moonsea, which means your character is going to be locked until you either make a new character and earn the 400 favor to unlock Warforged for your account on that server, or you buy it. So to combat this, they said if you are playing any of the enhancement trees, Favorite Illusionist, Inquisitive, Sandy Knife Fighter, Harper Agent, Falconry, and Horizon Walker, unspec those points. Just take all your points out of those trees before you transfer. If, again, this is only if you didn't buy it, okay? If you bought the expansion editions that came with the tree, if you bought the trees a la carte, if you paid for them, DDO points or real money, don't worry about this. This is only if you didn't pay for them, so you earn them in game. They will not be available on those servers. So if you bought Feywild, the base version, and just played through it to unlock Feydark, before you transfer, you want to take all the points out of the Feydark tree and then transfer. If you don't, your character will be locked and you won't be able to play it until you re-earn that thing on the server. However, they do say, please note we are offering a solution to this issue in the near future, and we encourage players to consider that a free solution will be available soon if they're thinking about purchasing access to the DDO store, which is basically to say they're not saying, oh, if you don't own this stuff, sucks to suck, go buy it. What they're saying is they just don't have a solution ready for Tuesday. Okay, so if you have points in Falconry, or maybe you're playing a Warforged, either transfer that character later, transfer the character, then unlock the thing, or in the case of something like Falconry, just take the points out and then transfer your character, and then try not to use those points while you replay it. Maybe do a TR, something like that. And in the future, other than like having to re-earn this stuff, they are going to have a solution which will solve this problem without you having to buy it. So if you just can't wait and you're like, man, you know what? My Falconry Greatsword Warforged build is just too good and I want to play it right away, you can buy Warforged and you can buy Falconry, and then when you transfer, you'll have access to both of them. Or instead, you can just wait it out, whatever you want to do. These are your options. I'm just letting you all know ahead of time that that is something that if you don't have access to it on your account, but you earned it through favor in game, that information is not currently transferring across when you do your character pack and character transfer. I think that's pretty much everything you need to know. So in case you didn't really, there's like other information in here. So again, if you're not sure, you can just like read through, but it's just got a lot of information. Oh yeah, the other thing is what happens after August 31st. They are closing the worlds to make them ghost worlds. So you will not be able to play on the 32-bit servers. They're gone. As somebody who's been playing on Arganesson for a long time, it is sad that I won't be able to go, oh yeah, what server am I on? Arganesson. Instead I'll be like, what server am I on? Thrain. It's my new server. I'm going to be playing on Thrain all the time. But it's going to be weird making that transition. However, there will be in the future, they will be allowing you to. These worlds will remain open for 2 years to facilitate final transfers. Okay, so even though you won't be able to play on them up until 2027, you'll be able to transfer your characters. After 2027, all that stuff is getting yeeted to the void, deleted from the universe. It will never exist ever again. So if you can't hit the deadline of summer 2025, August 31st, then you got till 2027 to finish. So if you can't hit 2027, I'm going to be honest, those characters weren't worth it anyway. Don't worry about it. But yeah, additionally, they're also, after the transfers are done, so after the window is closed on August 31st, they're going to have free transfers between the servers. And that includes Cormyr. Right now, you'll be able to transfer to Cormyr, but you can't transfer off of Cormyr. So you've been playing on Cormyr a lot like myself. Your characters are going to be stuck there in case you want to move there or move from there. But keep in mind, they will be allowing transfers in between those servers. This is something they also did in Lord of the Rings Online, where they allowed people to pick the servers they wanted to go to, and then people made the decisions. They picked their servers, and then once they actually got to where they wanted to go, they realized, actually, you know what? I'd rather play on this server. Or, oh, I actually know a lot of people that went to this server, or, oh, my friends decided to go here, or maybe they made the wrong choice, and you can fix it. They're going to be doing that the same thing here. So let's say you transfer to, I'm going to keep saying Moonsea, you transfer to Moonsea, and you go, you know what? I think I actually would like to play on Thrain. Well, you won't be able to transfer right away, but once they have it open, you'll be able to move for free from Moonsea to one of the other servers, and vice versa. And then once that's for a short period of time, and then once that's down, then there's going to be a standard stock affair. You want to transfer 1,000 DDO points, and actually, isn't it more than 1,000? It's like 3,000 DDO points. I'm going to be honest, I don't transfer, so I don't know. But yeah, so that's it. That's basically it. So TLDR, we're transferring to the new servers. The old servers are dying, so make sure you transfer your stuff. If it's in your bank, it's fine. If it's in your shared bank, all that stuff is fine. But if it's in your mailbox, you got to fix it. Gotta either take it out of the mailbox or it's going to get deleted. Your auction house, going to get deleted, okay? If it's unclaimed in the monster manual, going to get deleted, so claim all those things. Talk to your friends, pick your server. Then when you're ready to go, you log into your world that you're going to be transferring your stuff from, you log into your character, you do /transfer pack command in the video game, and then once you've done that, you'll see here it says packed, which means your character is ready to go. You're going to send your character from one server to the next using the character transfer window here on the launcher. And then once you can, you're going to log into that server, unpack, and bada bing, bada boom, you're all done. If you're part of a guild and you want to stay in the guild, just don't make a guild. Just don't make a guild, okay? And you'll be able to stay in your guild. It'll automatically set up. If you notice it says you're not in a guild, don't be like, that's weird. I guess I'm the first person. I'm going to make the Sword of Shadow and like start making the guild. It's not how that works. You're going to get, it's just wait, just be patient. And then lastly, you can reserve your name, log into the guild first, or log into the server first, reserve your name before you start doing the transfers, and you can use that to change your character names. I think that's pretty much all you need to know. And again, this is me just, for the most part, reading and telling you about this, and telling you about the 64-bit servers, and everything that's here. You can just read this, as I said at the beginning. It may be easier to you. If you're unsure about this, just either take this on your phone and have it in one hand while you're, like, going through your characters, making sure you're packing stuff properly. Again, it's very easy. It's literally just type this command and then transfer your character. If you're like me and you don't have anything in the auction house or mailbox, but if you have stuff everywhere, then take your time. Or if you're transferring to multiple servers, just make sure you read it and be careful. Have it on your other monitor. Print it out and have physical paper and read it to make sure you're doing it right. Again, not a difficult process, but if you are planning on going and dividing all your equipment between multiple servers, or if you happen to play on 20 servers and you want to combine it all into one, again, just make sure you move stuff. And this is neat because let's say you play on Argo and you play on Kenneth and you play on Kyber, Well, if you pack all the characters, when you unpack all those characters, everything's just going to combine together. All your pets from all of these servers are going to go into the pet bin. They're all going to go. All your mounts are going to go in the mount bin. All your account or shared account space is going to go together, and you're going to get all your items into one bin as it unpacks it. So you can combine all this stuff fairly easily. So keep that in mind. Also, when you are unpacking, I think they say it here with the unpack list. There's a limit to how quickly you can pack multiple times. Oh yeah, you also, like, packing takes some time, so just keep that in mind. It's not like you pack and then it's instantaneous. You pack. But yeah, the claim cannot not pack more than once in a 5-second period and no more than 5 times in a 10-minute period. So again, it's just not going to let you do that. Like, you can't just like pack, because it takes a lot of time on the server. And when you unpack, they even have a message here. Unpack command does have an impact on game performance, which means the game is going to lag to the shithouse while people are unpacking. If you play on the new server in the first 2 or 3 days of everyone moving and unpacking everything, and you're like, but Strimtom said the server wasn't going to be laggy, and yet this is the laggiest yet. Correct. This is the largest amount of data transfer DDO has done in many, many years. It's going to be laggy for the first week because it is what it is. They're literally pulling all the data from every other server and cramming into those servers. Once the dust settles, when people have transferred, it's going to be beautiful and smooth, just like it is on Cormier. But not right away. So just keep that in mind, which is why I said, hey, maybe there's a video game you wanted to play for a while and you haven't played it yet, then get your characters, pack them up, get the transfer going, and then go play something else for a week and then come back is my recommendation. Anyways, I'm excited to see you guys on some of the new servers. If you're on Thrain, feel free to say hello. I'll be hanging around and bumping around and doing stuff. And that's pretty much all I got. So thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the future on Thrain. But not right now, because it's hot. It's really hot in here. I had to turn off my AC to record. And it's so hot, dude. It's so hot.